Antitrust case. Bloomberg now reporting the Department of Justice considering breaking up Google in an effort to lessen the tech giant's monopoly over the online search space. Yahoo Finance's senior legal reporter Alexis Keenan joins us now at the desk. Alexis, what are some of the developments? What do we know so far?
Yes, so this report is coming from Bloomberg saying that the Justice Department is in fact considering asking the judge to put on the table divestment of some of Google's entities. We don't know exactly what those are, but on the table, they say, are potentially the Android OS. So that is used by 2.5 billion devices, and also Google's Chrome browser. Now, why would the DOJ ask for this kind of extraordinary remedy? And we should note that it is an extraordinary remedy to consider actually asking a company to sell off, requiring it to sell off some of its entities, and big ones at that, right here for Google. So why would they do that? Well, device manufacturers that want to have Gmail and the Google Play Store apps on their devices, they're also required by Google in agreements to carry widgets, also the Chrome browser. And guess what those do? They all funnel more users back to Google search. And at the heart of this case is the judge saying that Google holds an illegal monopoly in search and that it needs to do something to fix it. So there are other remedies too that could be on the table. Another would be to divest AdWorks. That is the platform that Google uses to sell text advertisements. That was also found to be an illegal monopoly in this case. Also, there are some non-structural remedies, and what those could look like would be to, for example, block Google from these agreements that are at the heart of the case that required Google, when devices or browsers or wireless carriers were installing Google's software and Google products, requiring them to put Google search as the default search engine. So that is really expected to be one of the remedies that will be on the table here very seriously that the judge will consider. But also there are other search engines like DuckDuckGo that have endorsed the idea of sharing click and query data. And what that does is it helps search engines track what users search and how they navigate through the web, also requiring the search engine choice screens. When a person gets a device, they'll have to see a screen and decide, well, do I want Google? Do I want Bing? Do I want DuckDuckGo? So these are some of the things that are being talked about, but this extraordinary remedy is what Bloomberg is reporting here is what the DOJ is going to walk in and ask the judge for. But there's a ways to go before we have answers to any of these questions. And the reason is Google has said they will, in fact, appeal this case. Not surprising. And when a company appeals an antitrust decision like this, they can also go in and say, we'd like the remedies part of this case to be put on hold. So that could be a year. It could be 2 years before it works its way through the system.
A federal judge has ruled.
Yeah, so, shout out to Google to try to appeal, but if the Department of Justice does, does do what it's supposed to do, it will really eliminate breaking down their stock. And so what will happen is, I believe, so Google got their stock right now, right? So if, they have to break up the stock, they'll have to probably name it something else because Google's name is Apple. Right now, their shares at $162.03. And so, and if the Department of Justice break it down, what you would do is you'll break down the stock, and then Google probably have to get to a different name and everything, which it could affect people that have their stock in Google already, and then if the DOJ do split it, you can see that if you do own Google, you can see that it might be a loss of money. Of breaking down stocks and everything because you think that once you invest in Google stock you think about the long term play, and some people don't not knowing that some people that's beginning with stocks, they just know say, hey, I know about Google, they're a good company and everything, and I do have long-term investments, but they don't know information about the DOJ trying to break it down. And then if they do break it down, they could be going to their Fidelity account, something like that. So okay, wait, what happened? What I have two separate, stocks and everything, why am I losing money? So I just want to point that out because there's situations that happen like that. There are sort of companies that would announce that, like I believe Apple, they did that, and also Amazon, they did it a few years back as well. They broke down the stock as well. So Other than that, Hakeem, man, what's your take about DOJ maybe breaking down Google stocks and everything because of illegalized monopoly?
Thank you so much, brother. I look at this and I'm agreeing with what Just Hear Me Out says. This is just dumb. Um, I've been having Google for years. It's never asked me to do anything. You can't be mad at a product if it made it good. How it monopolized when it started off as a search engine. It built Android iOS. Why would I want to invite any other product? Is that Apple does that? You can't. Apple ecosystem is closed. So if we start talking about you want to break it up, break what up? It works. It's a better browser than Safari, than DuckDuckGo, than Brave, and all these other things. And if a lot of people worrying about privacy, are you a terrorist? Or do you work for Hamas? I'm just a podcaster. I'm not doing anything. If we weren't about privacy and stuff like that, I would have been got locked up years ago. Am I wrong? So that's just how I feel. I would just leave it alone. Breaking it up is just going to make it worse. They tried to do that with Meta a couple years ago. Meta owns WhatsApp and they own Instagram. So they wanted to break that up. They said it's a monopoly. They bought it outright and they made it better. Ron, what you think about it?
No, but it's the same thing. Is the aspect of the privacy issue. That's all. Privacy issue. Everybody know Google is one of the best or the best browser user to me of all time. I don't think nothing compared to Google. Google right now is also monopolized when it comes to the aspect of the phones. Every job use Google. Everywhere I go, use Google. So now that people use Google Map, Google is just pretty much it's running the world. So I think they're just trying to find a way to find an excuse to try to degrade pretty much the Google, which is Alphabet. But I don't see it going anywhere. I see them actually winning this battle. I don't see them losing. Now that I don't think it's gonna hurt the stock price at all. I think it's actually gonna increase the stock price because people gonna continue to invest in Google because they see Google as one of the, like I say the best search engine or search browser that people pretty much use. Hell, we using Google now, so it's just common sense. But I think they're just trying to push a different agenda to allow people to use different browser, but people still gonna continue to use Google. Everywhere I go, people still use Google. Tell me something different. Go
Basically.
ahead, Jordan.
Shout
Yeah,
out to Faye James. My bad. Thank you for tuning in at work. We appreciate you, Faye James. Shout outs to you. And that actually is a girl.
okay. Shout out to
All right.
Fair J. Shout out to Fair
Thank you.
J. Yeah, I don't like when the DOJ they're just trying to show out that I think like since we're in we're the government, we're the Department of Justice, and we can do anything we want to. So they feel like if you guys are doing illegal monopoly or something like that, so we're gonna penalize you. Well, my thing is like it does, like I said, if you look at the history of Google, they'll start up be the search engine. Now when they start with Android. Now they have, like I said, Google Maps, Google Gmail, everything like that. They just, I mean, for what Google has built, I don't see nothing wrong with that. I just, DOJ try to put their hands in and try to mess everything up. It's like, hey, what you guys doing is illegal, so you gonna have to break your stock off, break down your stocks and everything. Which I think that's dumb and everything. So hopefully, I'm not hopefully. I think Google. Um, the company, I think, they will appeal. I think they will win that case because, when I'm, looking at the article and everything, they're not doing anything wrong. I don't think it's a legalized monopoly. They just doing they're just doing what they're supposed to do. And, I don't, and how you look at it, I don't see how the DOJ would count that as a legalized monopoly and everything. I just think DOJ, they just feel like they're in the government, they can do anything they want to do. And I